And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Green Bay Packers. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. John Simon in on the stop.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Flush to his right. His throw incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He sets to fire deep. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
This time Wilson will throw. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. It's early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the Grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. then a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
This is Bell. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hey, 50. Zone.
On second down, here's Rodgers. He's going to air one out. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Box it. Yeah, Liz. Don't forget it!
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So forget the 3 and out. The penalty makes this 1st and 10.
319.
To throw is Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A first carry now. This is Hill. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Hill. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
On 3rd down, Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out, fumble. And this is going to be Packer football. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Rodgers now to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing is Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
The first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
That's fine, yeah.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And Hill running right through it. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Here we go. 58. Yeah, Liz. Yeah, Liz. We are going.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Dancing to his left. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for him. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
And Elliott puts this one through. The weight up now. A flag is down. If this is on the defense, they're going to get the 1st. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. After the penalty, it's Bell. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Now, they had the box stacked. That run was going nowhere from the start.
And when you say stacked, you really mean it, don't you? Because when you're talking about a 46 defense, commonly known as the Bear defense, you're covering up the guys inside, and you're allowing other people to get in there close to the line of scrimmage, usually an 8-man front. That's difficult to block for an offense. On that play, the defense won in a big way. No gain at all.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. This Colts D up to the challenge so far, but they need another stop here on 3rd and goal. Here's Rodgers to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. And the kick by Elliott is good. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Now it's Wilson. And this one's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Wilson going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Throwing now is Rodgers. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. To throw, it's Rodgers. Flushed out right. His throw caught at about the 5. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They make a good bit of that yardage back as they're set up in much better shape now for 2nd and goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. A first throw here for the backup Taylor. Steps away to his left. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, tuck the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
They start the drive on the ground with Hill. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Wilson on second down. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Oh, he almost had the rare interception. The big fella couldn't hang on, though. Incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Now the Packers get set to go. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Rodgers throwing again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Why now? You got 58.
And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Packers on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
We are going. Galley. On left, Galley.
Working from the gun. Rodgers. Oh, he's got a man wide open. Complete. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
And there was absolutely 0 pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Get reset. Hey, easy.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Remain here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Over the middle to Evans. A good pick up there at 22. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hey, watch 13. Run. Hoka over here. Hey, check 26.
first down. Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. T.J. Green with a pick. Oh, nice move.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Hill. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore. Now the Colts moving quickly here in the hurry-up offense. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Colts on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, Wilson. Looking deep here for Ebron. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Eric Ebron, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are in for 6. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And an alley to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
We are going. Here we go. Check it, boss. Check the calls. Jumbo.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Vontez Perfect, the one to get him down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Yeah, Liz. Look at that.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
Hey.
Now it's Rodgers. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence, that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Oh, he shifts past him. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And the Colts getting ready to go. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
14 seconds, all that's left of this first half as they come up on first down.
Here we go now.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number one. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Ready for one word. Ready for one word.
They'll hand it off now. Hill. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. The Colts on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, 2nd half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Wilson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field, and that's caught inside the 35. A big play there for Indy. 41 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Wilson on 1st down. Ebron caught left side. And he gets it down to the 32. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
run it. 14. 12. Tempo.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. They convert on third with a gain of 22. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Nick Perry. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it third down. Movement there on the offensive line, a little quick, and a 5-yard penalty. That's going to set him back 5 yards. After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. Now Wilson operating from the gun. And that is caught. Touch. Down, Indianapolis. Eric Ebron, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Colts add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start out on the ground with Bell, and he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now Rodgers, a free play. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this will be caught at the 30. So, of course, they declined that there. They knew they had the free play. They got great yardage out of it.
It's kind of like when we were at dinner last night. You saw me reach for the check, so you ordered dessert on top of it, right? You say you had the free play.
Yeah.
Right? Already had what you needed. Go ahead and get a little more on top. I like it.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Forced out to his left. Pass incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And Elliott puts this one through. And a 2nd field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll try to get the offense going with Hill. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit the tackle to Darius Slay.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A huge play that time for the Colts. 41 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Ebron with it over the middle. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. On 2nd down, Hill. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
On 1st down, Wilson. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. They come up in an offset eye. To throw is Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Through a couple of plays, this Green Bay defense is held strong. Now it's 3rd and goal. They'll run it with Hill. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Rodgers now on 1st down. Evans has it left side. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sidelines? You see the coaches signaling, all the personnel groups up on the sideline, ready to go in and out of the game. They've got to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it.
At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Rodgers now on 1st down. That escapes the sack. And now he'll tuck it and run. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A beautiful fake. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Now they'll throw with Taylor. Being chased out left. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Inside.
And with the play clock getting closer to 0, John Harbaugh is going to call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Jumbo.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal.
4 down.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Now a first down carry. It's Hill. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
We got three, fellas.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
When teams have a tough time running the ball as this one has throughout this game, it's so easy to just say, forget it, let's throw the football. But that's exactly why you stay with the running game. Eventually, you stick with it, you make some adjustments, you often find ways to run the ball better as the game goes on.
They run with Hill. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They'll run with Clement. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
As many games as the two of us do, I would hope that one day we'll be able to solve this riddle. Why is it on a hot day that one team has more trouble with the heat than another, and especially when you can't stop a guy running the ball?
You know it's September in the booth, though, when you and I have both removed our coats, and those were gone in the first quarter.
They were gone in the first quarter, and what we're watching now is a defense mentally giving in and sagging a little bit because they haven't been able to stop it.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do you know, what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then in the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to letting it slip away.
On 2nd down now, Hill, and he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Mike Daniels makes the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The Colts on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Even though positive yardage was gained on that play, I think the defense has to be happy. Obviously, they were prepared for some trick plays coming into the game, and they looked very aware that those could happen on any given down.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Colts, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.